Well, hello again, everybody. It's me, Stephanie, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to paint this owl watercolor painting. Super simple little painting for us today. And before we get too deep into it, I want to invite you guys to, of course, like this, this video and subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to do so, you can find me on my social accounts, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and of course here on YouTube at Stephanie Weiss Art. I would love to connect with you in all the places as I'm trying to grow my things. Yeah, so I'm starting with some Payne's Gray here and just sort of outlining my little owl sketch. Outlining the moon. This is a very simple painting, by the way. Very simple. I mean, the hardest part, really, honestly, was probably the sketch. And maybe we'll do some sketching here on this channel someday. As you guys have probably discovered by now, if you're checking out my channel, I like painting the moon, and I like painting little critters. I paint a lot of owls, paint a lot of foxes, paint a lot of hawks. Those tend to be my favorites. So just continuing with the Payne's Gray, I think I only really use about 3 colors on this, which I will list all of that in the description below. So, how have you guys been out there? How have you been? I'm creating this video in the month of April 2024, and it has been the busiest month of my life. So I'm proud of myself for getting a video out because it's been a very busy time for me. All right, I am mixing a little bit of burnt sienna here. Just very lightly going around the owl's head. But yeah, I'm a parent. If I haven't shared that before, I think I have. But um, April and May tend to be just kind of nonstop, as it is when you have kids. Um, I'm constantly checking my calendar, like, okay, what did I forget? What did I forget? I know there's something going on this week. Like, there always is something. There's like award ceremonies, there's parties, there's all kinds of things. Um, this year, on top of all of that normal stuff, my daughter is a senior, so we have graduation things to prepare for, prom, all of that stuff. And her birthday is in April, so April is just kind of jam-packed more than usual this year. So that's what I've had going on. It hasn't left me a lot of time for art, but that's okay. For those of you who are not familiar, I also have another channel, an astrology channel that I try to keep up with too. And if you're interested in that, it's Twin Fox Astrology. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of the things at Twin Fox Astrology. But yeah, it's just kind of been, I feel like, a little bit of an overwhelming little period of life this month. I'm just wondering if anybody else is feeling that too. It just feels like there's so much to do. That's really one of the reasons I love art, even if it's just a little bit of time that I make for it. It's just very soothing on my nervous system because I do tend to have a very full calendar and get a little anxiety about that. Art helps me to chill out. I'm just really lightly going over some of this with the white watercolor. I really don't use it that much, but this is an instance where it kind of worked. Just adding a little definition to the flowers, or flowers. Adding definition to all those flowers. Sorry, I mean feathers. It's a little early. I'm kind of doing this voiceover with coffee, so my coffee is not fully integrated into my system yet. So I apologize if I am stumbling on my words or trying to fill awkward silences unnecessarily. I just am not sure what is right yet without the coffee. But I love painting owls. You will see me paint owls again because they're just, I've had so many kind of magical experiences with owls. They have shown up in my life in the strangest ways. They have always been messengers for me of change. And I can't say anytime I've ever seen an owl that a major change has not occurred for me soon thereafter. So I take them very seriously and I try to honor their energies in my paintings pretty frequently. In the spirit realm, owls are said to be, or I'm sorry, owls are said to be messengers from the spirit realm. They come over to deliver a message, usually that change and transformation are on their way. I think traditionally they have been not the luckiest omens, and I can't say I would disagree with that. I think traditionally owls were messengers of death and change and transformation, sometimes quite literal death. And I have to say I've experienced that. I experienced that. So sorry if this video got a little weird, but that's just who I am. So there will be more weird. But yeah, owls are very interesting to me. And something about these barn owls just very mystical to me looking. They're kind of spooky looking. But also really, really pretty. I love their coloring. My bedroom is these sort of grays and brown neutral shades, and so might hang this one up in my bedroom. Speaking of which, I should mention, I forget to mention here, but all of my paintings are always for sale. If you ever spot one that you might like to have, you can just reach out to me. Sometimes I'm good about putting them up on my website or my Etsy shop, but sometimes I'm terrible at that because it's a little bit of a hassle. So just know that everything's for sale usually. Very rarely is it not, because I make a lot of stuff. I can't keep everything. Just trying to, I felt like my shading was a little harsh, so I'm trying to neutralize that a little bit with this white watercolor. And actually, I should mention that, yeah, the white watercolor, I have not really figured out how that is utilized. So this was me kind of playing around with that also. And I wanted to add a little bit more contrast to my sky, just to kind of match the contrast in the owl. Not much though, nothing too crazy. And for those of you who are still tuned into this video, if I could ask you for a little feedback here. I am trying to figure out how much talking to do in these videos. I've tried to do less talking in this video. I don't know how much talking to do. So I would love your feedback. If you are someone who watches these videos all the way through, what level of talking would you like? I have been told that my voice is relaxing. And so part of me is like, well, maybe I could like, you know, make this a relaxing video, you know, but then part of me is like, well, maybe it's more relaxing for me to be quiet. I just don't know. I would love feedback on this. Um, and so here I'm using the white gouache and just, of course, outlining my moon and doing a few little highlights to the owl here. Also, if you are still watching this, thank you. Thank you. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to work with this channel. I started it years ago and had a much bigger vision, I guess you could say, and the videos became really complicated to make. And so I'm trying to simplify that a little bit and just in order to make it doable for myself. Because this is a hobby for me. I also work and have a family and all of that. So I try to trying to find a good balance where, you know, actually making these videos is possible. And yeah, pretty much these videos are just an open, like a, I guess, open door into my art time. At one point, I was a much busier artist, but 2020 kind of came through and I don't know, I think people are just not, I don't know, it changed things, I think, in the art world quite a bit. So I've had to just figure out a new way to keep creating without losing all of my money. I try to at least sell enough paintings to maintain my hobby. More is better, but that's always kind of my intention here. So just creating some speckles on this little owl here. And I like to add little sparkles in the sky. So again, with the white gouache, just adding some stars. And adding a few finishing touches here. Just kind of neutralizing some of these harsher shadows that I created here. And that's it, folks. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you've enjoyed making this painting with me, and I will talk to you next time. All right, have a good day. Bye.